My name is Debbie Jacobs, and I wanted to do a video on getting rid of negativity to get rid of depression, anxiety, and bipolar. Because what is depression, anxiety, and bipolar? It's negativity. It's negativity in our actions, it's negativity in our thoughts, it's negativity in our words. It's coming from a negative perspective that's been ingrained into the foundation of our being, over the course of our development, in our formative years. So we have negative thinking, negative, ineffective coping skills, and low self esteem. And really self hates because, everybody has negative thoughts, low self esteem, and negative, ineffective coping skills. People with, mental illness just had it harder than those that didn't. So they weren't able to take all the negativity, and it overwhelmed them, and they ended up with depression, bipolar, anxiety. I mean, anxiety is fear. I don't know why they call it a mental illness when it's a coping skill, right? Like anger. I mean, why is anger not a mental illness and anxiety is? In my opinion. So basically, I wanted to share that, I went through the healing process, and the healing process is getting rid of your negativity. It's learning new ways of thinking, new effective coping skills, not ineffective negative coping skills. And with the accomplishment of positive thinking and positive effective coping skills, you accomplish positive or healthy self esteem. That's what happens when you get rid of all the negativity in your being. And then you learn new effective ways of handling all your situations with positivity, not negativity. Then you are able to accomplish healthy self esteem. And why do you accomplish healthy self esteem? Because all this positivity, you're feeling good about yourself. You have effective ways of thinking, you're not putting yourself down, and you have effective coping skills. I mean, negative coping skills are anger, worry, fear, doubt, insecurity, jealousy, shame, guilt, shyness, sensitivity. I mean, our behaviors are loaded with negativity, being worried, being frustrated, being annoyed, being bothered, being insulted, being offended. There's just all these like negative perspectives, not liking someone, beating yourself up, criticizing yourself for like being stubborn. All these negative coping skills. And let me tell you something. When you have all these negative coping skills that are oscillating through your day, you're not really having happiness. And when you have a lot of them, you're having depression, anxiety, and bipolar, which was my diagnosis for over 10 years. And you know what? I didn't learn healing in therapy. Therapy did absolutely nothing for me. I started with anger, insecurity, low self esteem, my unhealed pain. And 10 years later, I left with anger, low self esteem, my unhealed pain, and insecurity, like all my problems. And I didn't even really, I had so much shame that was not processed that I didn't even talk about things that I needed to talk about. They should have been able to pull that out of me because I kept my facade even in therapy. I mean, I did speak, and I got, you know what? I got pacified. Therapy pacified me. I don't want to be pacified. I don't want to live with depression, anxiety, and bipolar. I want to live with freedom and happiness. We have one life. You know what I mean? And I want happiness. Hello, So what I found was working on my healing, self-improvement. Self-improvement is life improvement, really, And I was really aware of my negative thoughts. Really, like it literally like got to a point where I said, "Oh my God, my thinking is so negative. I got to do something about it." Like literally, I identified that my thoughts were the problem. And when you identify what the problem is, the problem is also the solution. What can I do about my thinking? And that's part of the healing process. And I learned a lot of under Louise Hay's philosophies. And Louise Hay said, change your thoughts, change your life. So I set out to change my thoughts. And I was successful. I did it. I created an app that reprograms the subconscious mind with positivity. And I went through the process of getting rid of my negativity. Because you can't be positive when you're negative. You know what I mean? So you have to address the negativity, not the positivity. I had a lot of positive things about me. That wasn't my problem. That was okay. I had to address what wasn't working for me, where the negativity, was creating problems for me in my life. I don't want to live with negativity. It creates my unhappiness. I want to create happiness. So I really sought out to make positive change, to change myself in every way possible. Every way. I mean, I changed, like I had negativity completely consumed. I was consumed. Even the way that I dressed. I used to dress like in all black, or like, kind of like boring colors and solids and like really kind of, not nondescript, I mean, I had like my own sense of fashion, but it was really just, a lot of neutrals, wasn't very colorful and bright, you know? Um, and basically, so I started, of course, I had to start with the most pressing, I started with my anger. You cannot be a positive person and have anger. Anger, is so disruptive to our being, to our existence, to our happiness. And let me tell you something. Just because we get angry does not mean that that's the best way to handle the situation. Me getting angry at you creates upset in me, you know, creates unhappiness in me. I don't want to get angry. I don't like getting angry, So, what can I do to not get angry? Well, first, I had to get rid of my anger. I mean, I had to let go of and heal myself of my unhealed pain that was triggering me. I would get mad at someone, not because of them, but because I was already hurt, because I already had anger issues. I had to get rid of my anger issues. And let me tell you something, it can be done. It can totally be done. And what you have to do is like you really have to dismantle it, diffuse it, negate it, take it apart, take your anger apart. And what you'll find is that the anger is created in the mind, not in the situation, in the mind. So if somebody calls me a jerk, I would get angry at them. They call me a jerk, and now I'm going to say, I'm not a jerk, you're a jerk, and now we're going to get in a fight. Because they called me a jerk and I got angry and I got reactionary and now it's going to escalate and I'm going to get punched in the face, like I don't want that outcome, So you have to learn how to change your thinking. What is more effective in this situation? Somebody calls me a jerk. I don't want to get angry. Anger doesn't serve me. It's not solution oriented. It doesn't help at all. It's a reactionary, negative, ineffective coping skill. And when you learn how to replace a negative, ineffective coping skill with a positive, effective coping skill, then you have a new way of being and a new way to handle situations without anger. So, instead of, getting mad at someone for calling me a jerk, I might say, Why did they call me a jerk? Is there a problem? Can we fix it? What's the problem? What's going on? Talk to me. Maybe they don't have their, effective communication skills, and they're expressing themselves with anger because they don't know better how to express themselves. How can we help them solve the problem? Create win-win. If you're mad at me, let's both of us get out of our anger. We don't have to handle a situation with anger, really. And let me tell you something. Around kids do not have the coping skills to deal with adults' anger. And kids don't do anything, to create anger in adults. Adults bring that into the relationship. And now the children, are like, they are on the receiving end of the parents' anger problems. That's not cool. That's not fair. And that's not healthy for kids. That doesn't help with their development of effective coping skills. But I just wanted to say that pretty much, going through my anger, guess what? Then I had to go through my fear, my anxiety, my insecurity, my worry. One by one, I got rid of all this negativity, all these negative thought patterns, all these negative behaviors, getting embarrassed. I don't want to get embarrassed. I don't like getting embarrassed. I don't like to feel stupid for being human, But it's all working with the mind and seeing how can I change this? How can I reframe the situation to create a positive outcome? Before, if I fell, I would, feel embarrassed, feel stupid. I beat myself up. I put myself down because I was human and I fell. I had to change that thinking. I had to change the thinking to say, it's okay. It's okay that you fell. It's all right. You're human. Just get up, and get back to what you were doing quickly. But don't feel bad about yourself. I don't have to feel bad about myself. And I literally, trained my mind to think serving my highest good. Literally. You got to get rid of all the negativity and then train the mind, how to think that serves you, how to think positively. Positive thoughts serve our highest good. Negative thoughts don't. Negative thoughts create problems. Negative thoughts create negative outcomes. Anger, fear, worry, insecurity, doubt, jealousy, sadness, grief. I don't want to create negative outcomes. I want to create positive outcomes in every situation, creating win-win. I know that I've created a positive outcome when I've created win-win and everybody's happy. It's not just about me and my happiness. It's about happiness for us all, And, really took even saying my words, how I spoke to people. I can't insult people. You just can't. I don't even like cursing. I do curse. I'm a human being, but I curse, not, overdoing it. Not every other word is cursing on me. I try not to curse as much as possible, but I'm a human being, and I used to curse when I was in my hurt. And in my healing, it's like I really want to get myself out of any bad habits. So I don't like to call, anybody any kind of names. That's a rule that I try and make, And let me tell you something. Healing is about authenticity. It's not about perfection. So if I do get mad and I call somebody a name, I'm human, I'm human. And I try and do it being mindful of, not creating too much damage. I'm not going to really tell somebody how I feel, if it's going to be really hurtful. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to create, even when I'm mad, I don't want to create hurt. And the difference with being mad, after healing and before healing is being mad before healing, somebody could look at me the wrong way and I would get mad at them, But now it's like I don't use it as a coping skill. But if somebody challenges my boundaries, if somebody really mistreats me, if somebody doesn't tries to silence my voice or not accept my assertion, that if my buttons get pushed, it's hard not to react. Trust me, I did try, but it's hard not to react with anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but it's different when it's a coping skill. You don't want it to be a coping skill, just like fear. Fear is a natural emotion. If you're, in a dark alley, that would make me scared. I would be scared. But what you do differently is that, then I would be scared, but I would get my mind to say everything's going to be okay. I could do this. Don't worry, and I'd move quickly. But I would. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Da, 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 da. That doesn't serve me. That scares me even more. You know what I mean? That perpetuates fear, and that's using fear as a coping skill. Whenever a situation comes up, it's how we direct our thinking. You know, and negative thinkers create negative coping skills. Positive thinkers use positive, effective coping skills like assertiveness, patience, understanding, not taking things personal, forgiveness, empathy, just like a whole bunch of different confidence, of course, courage and bravery. Those are positive, effective coping skills. And you know what? They really actually help to keep your confidence and your healthy self esteem. When you're operating with effective coping skills, it helps your confidence because your coping skills are effective. Communication skills, interpersonal skills, conflict resolution skills, problem solving skills. Those are all positive, effective coping skills. I mean, what do we need? Worry, fear, anger, insecurity, doubt, jealousy. What do we need those for? If I am going through a difficult time, what is fear going to do for me? Hello? What is anger going to do for me? Our coping skills make things worse. If somebody calls me a jerk and I take it personal, how is that helping me to take it personal? That doesn't serve me. Why would I want to take on the hurt? Because we don't have defense mechanisms and we don't have effective coping skills. That's why I call them ineffective coping skills. You know? And basically, it really takes awareness and then to recognize, are you creating a negative outcome or are you creating a positive outcome in your situation? So, if you have a conversation with your brother, and you call him a jerk, are you creating a negative outcome or are you creating a positive outcome? And what do you want to accomplish? You don't want to accomplish hurting people. Hurt people hurt people. And the negativity stems from our hurt. That's why we accomplish positivity in healing. And once you're healed, you don't want to hurt anymore, but you have a whole, new set of thinking and coping skills that help you to accomplish that. And it really was in the healing process. I mean, I didn't know that I was going to heal myself of mental illness. You know what I mean? Like, I really was motivated to create happiness in my life. And I guess I kind of thought that I would have created happiness with my mental illness in some weird way. Like, I didn't really, like have any foresight. I just was like, I need to make positive change in my life. I'm really not in a good place. And I am overwhelmed by the negativity of myself, of my actions, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, of my thoughts, like I couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up on the healing path. And I started experiencing like immediate results. Over 10 years, I got no results. And then when I started the healing process, I started immediately relieving myself of pain, of hurt, of ineffective coping skills, and the whole process was getting results. It was, growth is a painful process, and doing things differently and being out of your comfort zone is an experience. It's like in uncharted foreign territory. It felt very weird to do things differently. But you know what? I was, motivated and determined to move forward in my life down this path. And the path was the path to freedom and happiness. Thank God. So, all right, my name is Debbie Jacobs, and I hope that you have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.